Thank you for coming to the ARIN 45 meeting. I want to say on behalf of the entire advisory council that we are really grateful for your participation here and the fact that this allows us to do the valuable policy work that we need to do. Next slide. We have a really amazing advisory council right now. If you get a chance, please review everybody's bios. We have such a diverse set of backgrounds, and we have everybody, not just in their day jobs, but in their volunteer and their historical job history. We really have a great dedicated group of people that put so much time and effort and care so much about this community. I really want to just take a minute to honor everybody. We have Carrie Richards, Owen DeLong, Chris Tassett, Rob Seastrom, Kat Hunter, Chris Woodfield, Joe Provo, Leif Sawyer, Alicia Trotman, Allison Wood, Amy Potter, Andrew Dole, Anita Nikolic, and Alyssa Moore. And they just do a really fantastic job. Next slide. Currently, since policy activity since ARIN 44 is we've sent 6 items to the Board of Trustees. The board adopted them all on January 22nd, and they were implemented by staff on March 31st. There's obviously always a slight delay while the staff ramps up and gets prepared to implement a new policy. Next slide. We've received 10 new proposals. 2 are withdrawn by the author. This can happen for a number of reasons. In this particular case, one policy, when we were talking it out, it was covered by other work that was being done. And in the other case, it was more appropriate as a suggestion rather than a policy change. 2 of our policies, 2 of the 10, have also been classified as editorial changes. This happens when we are cleaning up language, but there is no change in the function of the policy. We're just making adjustments. There are 6 policies currently under discussion as draft and recommended draft policies. Next slide. Five recommended draft policies are in the works. These are important to look at because these policies may go to last call in the board after this meeting. This may be the last time you see these. So please pay extra attention to these policies as we discuss them, make sure they meet the community needs, and express your support or non-support. This is critical feedback for the advisory council. Next slide. We have 3 draft policies. These are still works in progress. The language may change before they move forward, or they may not move forward after this meeting. We absolutely still need input on these, but these will have to go to another meeting before an action can be taken. Next slide. We also have an edit change, another editorial change, just a language change for the PPML, or I'm sorry, for the policy, the NRPM, sorry, excuse me. And we have 3 new proposals that are brand new and just starting to get work done on them. We will also discuss those. Next slide. One other thing before we go into questions, I wanted to mention, we have implemented, as an advisory council, we were talking at the beginning of this year, and we decided a lot of things we were kind of waiting for. We were hearing discussion about the PDP being difficult to understand, the NRPM, maybe having some language inconsistencies, things like that, we knew could be better. So we formed 3 working groups with the advisory council. One is focused on NRPM, one is the policy development process, and another is reviewing the last 3 years of policy experience reports. These groups are working with the community and with each other. Each group has at least 4 members from the advisory council, and they are reviewing this. So in the case of like the NRPM, they are reviewing it, looking for things that are overly difficult or language that doesn't make sense. In the policy development process, they're reviewing that to make sure it's fair, it makes sense, that we're not making it overly burdensome for the community. And the policy experience report is an important one because that comes, those are reports from RSD that tell us what they're seeing customers have problems with. And we want to be sure that nothing was overlooked there that we could correct. So a lot of the policies that are coming forward right now are from these three groups. If you have anything you want to contribute to these groups or input, they would love to hear from you. And they are also sending updates out to PPML as appropriate, looking for feedback. So please give feedback when possible. And that's all I have today. Any questions?